What is up, Diecast homies? Mark McCotwheel here, back for another. It's been a while. Back for another podcast. Apologize, it's been so long. Doing the diecast breakdown, it usually takes up a good amount of my time and just running my own business and stuff like that. But today, got nothing going on. It's a free day, so I figured I'd tune in, say hello to y'all, see how everybody's doing. I know you guys. I have had. It's cool to see a spike in downloads for this podcast because I haven't even done it for a while, but it's cool to see it growing. I love you guys. I hope everyone's having an amazing day. Today it's pretty rainy here, but it's been super beautiful. It's been anywhere from like 60 to 70 degrees in Washington State, and that's my cup of tea. Anything it gets into it feels like 10 degrees hotter because it's kind of humid, but anything hotter than that, and I hate it. Like 80, 90, 100. I lived in Arizona for a couple of years, and that was, for me, is terrible. I was on the first plane out of there when I got done with school. So, anyways, like I said, I hope you're all having a blessed day. Today, we're just going to talk about a few things. First and foremost, I'm going to talk about something I'm really excited about. It's a charity event that the Diecast Misfits, I can't talk already. Paco over at Paco's Diecast Garage is putting this together. So huge shout out to Paco for organizing this. I know what it takes to round everything up, and it takes a lot of time and effort, and it's a huge amount of selflessness too. So thank you, Paco, for putting that together. So let's just talk about this event. I'm trying to rally some people together. He's got some quite a few donations already. So what's happening here is people are sending him custom die casts. They're sending him super treasure hunts, chase cars, cool rare type stuff. And he's gonna auction this stuff off on, what is that app called here? Let me look it up here real quick. I haven't used it yet, but it. Let's here. Sorry, guys. Let's pull this up here. Um, the app is Whatnot, and I think a lot of people use that to auction off diecast stuff. So the 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 day that they're going to do it is July 1st, 2023. So coming up, a little less than a month. But I think he's still taking donations. I encourage you to hit Paco up. He's on Paco's Diecast Garage on Instagram, and I'm sure he has his. Let me see here. I've got his email here. I'm going to give it to you. All right. So his email. Let's see here. So if you guys want to email him, is Paco's Diecast Garage at gmail.com. If you guys want to message Paco, if you've got some things to give, and let's talk about that for a second before I get too deep into this. On something like this, when someone takes the time to round everybody up and donate, and this cause is for St. Jude's Children's Hospital, which is amazing. St. Jude's Children's Hospital, it does amazing things every year with the cancer research, with helping kids, the cost of flights and staying in hotels and everything. It's just an amazing thing that we have to keep going. And to do this, they need money. They need money. They need help funding for this, because guess what? It takes $1.4 billion to operate this business. And I think that's annually. So every little bit helps, and when people just kind of think, hey, just $5 or $10 doesn't help. Well, it does, because if you're given a couple bucks here, a couple bucks there, and another 10 million people are doing that, or another million people are doing that, that adds up really quick. So, you know, if you don't have any money, then I encourage you to maybe have some extra cars that you don't need. Maybe you've got some doubles of things, or just something that, like, you need to think about, like, hey, maybe someone else need this more than I do. And just, what I do and what I've done in the past, I just take something that maybe is valuable to other people and I don't really have a huge attachment to, I just throw it in a box and send it. So there, I'll be going over today a little bit on what some of the stuff that I sent. Most of it's like stuff from people that have sent to me for charity. So some of it's been passed on because this is a great event, and I figured that they need all the cars they can get and some cool stuff. So we'll go over some of that. There's going to be some really cool stuff that's being sent Paco's way. So just encourage you to, if you can't give anything, if you can't get, you don't have any extra cars to give, stuff that you just cannot part with, then share. Share. I've got on my, I think Dotson Man, Diecast, and Hot Wheels for Hope. I have the banner for the event on there. So if you can share that, that helps immensely too. Because if people don't see it, they're not going to give. They're not going to participate because they need a lot of people to show up to that auction and buy the items that are being sent. So that's really important. So there's going to be some really cool stuff, and I think people will be really interested in some of the stuff that's going to be up for auction. That it could be theirs, and that every cent, every penny. I was going to say every dime goes to St. Jude's. So Paco will be rounding all that up from the proceeds, put it in a cashier's check, and giving it to St. Jude's. And so, yeah, if you can give, cool, amazing. It's one of those things where just you know less. Just think about less about yourself and give to kids in need. These kids are sick. Help fund their doctor visits, their parents flying over there, because I think everybody, a lot of it's cancer related and other diseases and stuff like that. But I think we all know someone that's battling cancer right now or has and has passed. So yeah, it's a nasty thing, and what they do is amazing, and they're saints for sure for what they do. So yeah, let's go over some of the things that I saw in, because Paco did kind of a live event and showing some of the cars that are being donated and some customs. There's some really cool customs. I'll kind of go over what you guys are welcome to go. I think that's probably still up. You can go watch it on Paco's Diecast Garage on YouTube. That's where he had his live. You can go rewatch that and see some of the cars that are being given. So again, July 1st, and it's whatnot, and he'll have a link to that so you guys can go. But just put that on your calendar. Write that down. It gives me some sweet cars, and I'm going to lure you in with some of the cars that I'm sending and that some other people are sending Paco. Hopefully, I'm going to lure you in. You're going to go spend some money, and we're going to get some money raised for these kids. So, some of the stuff that I just sent Paco, hopefully it'll be there in the next couple days. I got, when I went down to Vegas for the Diecast Con, um, I was able to meet Chad Lindbergh, Jesse from Fast and Furious. He's from a town over from me. He's from Mount Vernon, Washington, and finally got to meet him in person. It was really cool. We had a good connection. He does a lot of stuff for charity, and he actually, when my dad went into the hospital, when my dad's heart stopped, cardiac arrest, and my dad died for 8 minutes, and he came back to us. Chad's dad actually passed away and had a heart attack, and it wasn't he didn't come back. So he lost his dad around the same time as I did. His dad was in the hospital at the same time. So I was able to talk to him a little bit about that, and definitely continue to pray for Chad and his loss, because it's so tough. He was so close with his dad. But it was nice meeting him and chatting with him, and I told him about, he's aware he's donated to Hot Wheels for Hope before, and told him about what we're doing. I was going to buy some stuff off of him to give away. So I was going to pay for it, buy it off him, but he insisted that I don't pay a dime. And he gave away a couple hats, Fast and Furious hats signed, and then he signed a Jetta, a premium Jesse Jetta for me. So that will be going to the charity auction. So two hats, I think it is Fast and Furious hats signed by Chad Liburg, Jesse. And then the really cool thing is the car, because that's actually one of my favorite diecast cars. It's not one of my favorite cars in real life, the white Jetta, but the diecast car for some reason like is one of my favorite cars. I really love it. So cherish that because I'm giving that away. It's signed by him, which means so much more. But that's one of my favorite cars, and I'm just gonna part with it because guess what? It's gonna raise some money for kids, and that's way more important than sitting on my shelf. Just that's just the way it is. So that's really cool. Again, huge shout out to Chad Lindbergh. Thank you so much, buddy. I plan on doing more work with you. I plan on detailing your mom's car because she lives in the area. We talked about that, so we'll take good care of her. So that's super rad. You're awesome, man. So the next, what else we have in here? We have Joe's Rush Shop. He sent me probably I think around 4 customs. It's been a while. I've had those for probably close to a year or something like that. So really cool custom cars. My favorite is the Datsun 510 wagon, and you guys are gonna like it. So Paco will be showing you guys those. I don't need to get into all that, but thank you again, Joe, for sending those. Amazing. And then we've got custom from Eddie Papanda Dedand Scrandria. I think that's how you pronounce it. So Eddie sent this really cool. I don't even know what kind of car to call it. It's like a big body custom old milk truck type of deal. It's awesome. It's purple. It's a deep. It's like almost I wouldn't call it spectre flame, but it's really cool. I love it. It's in a little diorama type of deal, and that will be given away as well. It's really clean. It's just a clean custom. So we all know what kind of work Eddie does. It's amazing. So thank you, Eddie, for sending that. And he also sent a super treasure hunt. I think it was the Ford Galaxy. So that will be given away. So he made sure that's going to charity. And then we have another an RLC Batmobile given by Big A Adrian from Big A's Diecast, and that's a really cool car. So that's going to be auctioned off as well. And then I threw some Datsuns in. I threw a bunch of stuff that I have in my collection, including a few Super Treasure Hunts that I think I found all of them at some point. But like I said, guys, there's things in your collection that Super Treasure Hunts are awesome, and so are RLC and some of those cars, but especially Super Treasure Hunts. You paid $1 for it. You may have paid $2, but if you can donate something like that and they can pull in 30, 40, 50, 60, $70, whatever, um, for these kids, then maybe let it go. So it's up to you. It's a heart thing. So whatever your heart's telling you to do, just do it. But it's going to be an amazing event. And if you can send stuff and be a part of it, I highly recommend it because in this world, people get really stingy. They get really self centered, especially when the economy is like it is. It's tough. Groceries, it's tough to get by. I think we've all struggled the last few years, especially since COVID. Um, just one thing that I like to see is just people give during those times because it's tough. But you'll get through. We'll make it. We'll all make it through. And even if the economy totally dives, which I think it might, we won't get into that. But for me, I've always got God. He's always got my back, no matter what. Never failed me, and I'll be all right. Whether I have diecast cars or whether I have real cars, or if my house burns down or whatever, I have Jesus. So that's what's awesome. Here's let's see here. Here's a quick Bible verse for you guys, just about children, because that's what this is for. St. Jude Children's is Psalm 127:3. It says, "Children are a gift from the Lord; they are a reward from Him," and that's true. Kids are such a gift, and not all kids are treated like gifts. Some people, it's a burden for them, or kids aren't treated correctly, and they get sick, and they have issues, or they act out, or there's but we all were kids once, and put yourself in the position of either a kid that's going through treatment, or the father or mother of the kid that has to battle this. And it's super tough, and it's not fair, but life is not fair. There's a lot of things that happen to all of us, and young or old, that's just not fair. But there are things we can do to help in some of these situations, and in this situation we can give. And like I said, if you can't give, you can share. You can share on Facebook, you can share on any social media this event, and that really helps, because it's really helped me over the years when we're doing uh, you know raffles, giveaways, events. When people share stuff, it helps immensely. So if you can't give money or cars, then share the information, and that'll do wonders for this event, because we really need to get people in there to buy this stuff, to raise money for the kids. I'm so excited about this. And Paco, thank you again, man. I'm excited to see people picking up the gauntlet, or whatever you want to say, and doing their own thing, and starting their own fundraiser. And if I can see more of that, um, I can die a happy man. I love to see it. It gets me stoked. So thank you again, Paco. Thank you again for Diecast Misfits, Pete, Old Man Diecast, for helping out too. So just just help out, guys. That's all I'm asking. And I'll continue on here. So what else we got here? We got some real big heat, and I've got help from some really special people I want to give shout outs to too. And these are people that don't have to do this kind of stuff, that have a lot going on, a ton going on, way more than me. So we've got round two helping out Chad Reed over at round two, Auto World, Plain Mantis. Um, what else? They just bought something else. I forgot what company they just took over. They're just buying people out. So Chad's helping. He's sending some cool stuff. I don't know exactly what he's sending yet, but he's going to send that directly to Paco. I asked him to help out, and he did it no problem. Yeah, I got you. So he's sending Paco some cool stuff, some rare type stuff, exciting stuff. I think we all love round two, Auto World. So there's going to be some cool stuff from Chad. So thank you, Chad, for being selfless, helping out, and to when you're asked, just to jump on it and say I got you. And then we've got Eddie Castro of Masto, and Barago and Muscle Machines, art designer. I met Eddie down in Las Vegas as well. Instantly clicked with Eddie. Eddie is a kind soul. He's a good dude. We hit it off. We're laughing. Just one of those guys you can just chat with, and he's just. I mean, he does amazing work. He's an awesome designer. Some of my favorite cars are designed by him, and he's had parts with, and his style is just so cool. So he's one of those down to earth guys that doesn't think he's better than anyone else, because basically he runs the art design team for Masto, and we love you, Eddie. So he's going to be sending over some stuff signed by himself, some posters and stuff like that of his artwork, which is just truly amazing. And we got the opportunity to do a live chat with him down in Vegas, and we'll have him on our podcast, just a regular one here soon. And Eddie's just a rad dude. So thank you, Eddie, for saying absolutely, I got you. I'll sign stuff. I'll send it out. So he's sending stuff out soon here, and he's going to send it directly to Paco. Last but not least is Tarmax Works. Tarmax. I always say, I need to learn how to say that. Tarmac Works. Okay, that's how you say it. I have to read it. And even when I read it, I say it wrong. So Tarmac. Okay, I give up. No, I'm gonna have to be saying that a lot. But he's giving away some really cool cars. I asked him to participate, and he's sending stuff to Paco as well. He's like, I got you. He does a lot of, I don't know if you guys know this, but a portion of every car you buy from Tarmac Works goes to charity. So a lot of there's not a lot of companies that can say that, especially diecast companies. I don't think Mattel does anything like that. Some of the other companies are big on giving, but that's really awesome. Felix, the owner, and I connected on that because we love uh, anything charity related. So he was on board on sending Paco some stuff. So he's sending some discontinued items, some rare stuff, and I won't tell you what exactly they are. I'll tell you the Porsche related, RWB related, maybe Datsun BRE related, maybe some other, yeah. So there, I mean, some really cool stuff that you can't really find anymore, and stuff that's signed, so stuff that you can't really buy. So there is 1,000 different reasons to go to this auction and buy some of the stuff and bid on some of the stuff, because you could get it relatively cheap compared to what you're going to pay for on eBay, or like to call it Feebay, or Mercari, or wherever you shop for your diecast. Because it's crazy out there with some of the prices people are asking. So yeah, amazing event. I encourage everyone to be a part of it. It's really rad. Let's see here. I want to give you guys another little snit bit about St. Jude. I think their plan here for 2022 to 2027 is by launching the largest strategery. strate- okay. Strategic. That's a tough one. I know that's some. I think that's why George Bush made up a word, strategery. Investment in its nearly 60-year history, St. Jude is committing 12.9 billion over the next 6 years to accelerate research and treatment globally for children with catastrophic diseases. So, yeah, in the next 6 years, they're going to be donating. They're committed to $12.9 billion, and this is raised from you and I, and of course there's larger donors too. But um, I find personally, and even in my own business, that some of the blue collar people, some of the people without, and people that don't have a lot of money, are the most generous people ever. So it's your chance to just be generous, even if you don't have a lot to give, or share the information with other people to give, because some of the the richest people in the world, even if they do give, sometimes I'm not going to discredit the people that do give a lot, but some of the rich people are really tight with their money, and money is not the root of all evil. People say that quote wrong all the time, and it bugs me. I hear it. I just heard it this week. The love of money is the root of all evil. There's a huge difference between like just having money and the love of money, because there's plenty of people with a lot of money that give it away and could care less if they lost it, or just giving it all away. They've been blessed with a lot of money. So, but then there's people that hold on to their money and they try to take it with them, and it defines them. So it's really cool to see the people that don't have a ton of money that give so much. And we see that even with our business, detailing cars, and we deal with a lot of people that don't have a ton of money, but they're very generous, and they, with the way that they use it, the way they appreciate us, the way they tip. We don't ask for that. They're just very giving people. And some of the people with a ton of money, they don't tip at all. They don't really appreciate stuff nearly as much, and they're really tight with their money. So I just encourage everyone to give when they can. And it's so nice to share, because there's a hummingbird outside my window looking at me. Hey, what are you looking at? Um, I'm out in the country. Out in the country. So it's going to be an amazing event. Like I said, I'm stoked on this. I'm really excited. When I saw that, I was like, yes, someone else is doing good stuff out there. Good for you, Paco. Good for you, Diecast Misfits. And I'd like to see more of it. And it's never too much. I mean, people aren't going to be able to give all the time, but it's really easy to give some extra cars you have, some things that that you can part with, stuff that you like will give away, and you'll probably forget that you gave it away. So you're just like, oh yeah, I used to have one of those. But I have a lot of cars in my collection that I don't even know really exist, because there's so many. So I'm trying to whittle that down. That's that's a conversation that I've had with myself and other people a lot, is because I talk to myself a lot. I mean, hey, I'm talking to myself right now. I'm in a room talking to myself, and it's great. Anyways, give what you can. If there's some cars that even were given to you, maybe check with that person before you give it away. I always like to check with people before I give stuff away, even to charity. And I've never been like, they're like, no, you can't give that to charity. That's never been the case. But it's still nice to check with people, make sure, hey, man, if I was to give this custom away or the super treasure hunt to raise money for St. Jude, would you care? And, they're not going to say, no, you can't do that. So, but it's just nice to ask. So, I encourage you guys to take part in this event. It's rad. It's super cool. So I'm excited. Thank you again, Paco. I think I've said that 5, 6 times. I'll say it again. Thank you, Paco. And it's just cool to see Paco doing his podcast thing, his channel. Um, yeah, it's rad. There's a lot of people that were kind of maybe hesitant about starting a channel, starting a podcast, starting whatever they want to do, because it's kind of putting yourself out there. But I'm proud of you, Paco, for doing that. There's a lot of people I'm proud of for doing that. And you don't even have to show your face a lot of times. And if you want to start a podcast, you don't have to show your face either. You're not even able to see my ugly mug on this podcast. You're just going to hear my voice. And that's not even that great. I'm not even that funny. I'm funny looking. That's why I'm on a podcast. That's where ugly people go. Podcasts. Okay. And then, so pretty much gonna wrap it up here shortly, but there's a big announcement that I'd like to make, and it's a vague announcement because I'm not gonna make the official announcement until there's paperwork and stuff like that. But I am partnering with a large diecast company with sponsorship, and the sponsorship relates to my Datsun 510. There's something really cool coming with that, and I guess what I'll give you, the hints I'll give you is just, it's not Hot Wheels, it's Japanese type cars, premium cars, really cool premium cars, and that's about all I'll say for now until pretty much it's all in the works. Design team's working on the design for the wrap on the Datsun 510, and it's gonna be epic. It's gonna be really cool. So feel free to guess. Maybe I'll give you a little yay or nay or something. I don't know, but I'm very excited about it because it's a dream of mine to have something like that. To have my Datsun. I've had 6 Datsun 510s. This is my favorite one by far. It has a lot of blood and sweat into it, and I've got a lot of more to put into it. A lot more stuff I want to do under the hood, tuck some wires, put some new intakes on, bigger brakes in the rear. So I'll be doing that in the next coming few months. I'll be trying to do as much as that as possible and get it running good, tuned. And it'll be going to the JCCS, the big, huge Japanese car show in California, hopefully with the sponsorship and everything. And this next year, so that'll be exciting. I've always wanted to go to that, but the biggest thing is it's most likely um, my car's most likely it's gonna become a diecast car, which is my dream. Coming from car like the Fast and Furious movies, Gone in 60 Seconds, the stuff that got me really fired up about cars, being a car guy, and then going from full size cars down to little mini cars to appreciate those because of my love for cars. But to be able to I've always been like jealous with people that 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 have their own diecast cars. I'm like, how cool is that? People all around the world buying your car. That's like, it's your car into a mini car. So I hope that works out. Um, I'm excited if it does. That's a dream come true for me, and extremely humbling if it does work out like that. That would be awesome. And so I thought I'd share that with you guys. It's been an amazing journey from starting a diecast channel and an Instagram and podcast and all this stuff. It's been really fun, and I love to see, especially love to see this charity stuff happen because it's amazing. And the diecast community has some really amazing people in it, selfless people. I mean, when we did the first fundraiser and I had like 4,400 cars sent to my house, I was like, wow, this is a dream come true. I joked around about not being able to get around in my house and having to sleep on boxes, and it was almost true. I had so many boxes of cars in my house, and I was so excited to be getting all these cars, to be counting them, and as exhausting as it can be with some of that stuff, it's so rewarding because I know where these cars are going. Every one of these diecast cars, whether they're Hot Wheels or Maisto or Round Two Auto World, when a kid gets it in their hand, it can be life changing. They can get into cars and make their career car related, like I have. Just the passion for cars, just some of the, like I've told people before, just giving cars to like the food bank. When kids are going there, they're not excited about being there. Their parents definitely aren't too excited about being there. People that don't have a lot of money, and that can be all of us. I mean, you can go from a good situation to a bad situation pretty quick. I think COVID showed that to us. I mean, I was uh, I was close to losing my home during COVID. The being basically laid off from work and getting a check for unemployment was not cutting it for car payments, mortgage, all kinds of bills. So that's actually what started my detailing company. I had to start detailing cars to survive, to pay the bills, to keep my house. So yeah, it can, certain things, anyone's life can change financially, but you got to be able to help people when you have money and when you don't. And that person that needs help may be you. And we're all here to help each other, and it's an amazing community. So I appreciate everybody, that the superstars that support me on this, that listen to my podcast, that listen to Diecast Breakdown. That's been an adventure. It's been amazing. Thank you, Chuck and David, for all that you do. um, Especially Chuck, with the amount of, he's had a lot going on in the last couple years here, and especially this last year, and to be able to help put it together, create the show. It's been fun. Just the people that we meet, the connections that we get. I mean, without me meeting some of these people, I wouldn't be able to have them help with charity things. I wouldn't have good friends. I mean, they're just amazing people. And not all the people you interview are going to be good friends or necessarily even amazing people. We try to get nothing but amazing people on our show, but we've met some truly amazing people, like Eddie, like Chad, like Felix, Fireball. Um, we have Tony and Carmen coming on, I think next week. So it's gonna be fun, and we've got a lot more people. Like I said, we want to get Jay Leno on our podcast, and some people might laugh at that, but I'm not laughing. I'm gonna get Jay Leno on our podcast, or we are. We're we're working towards it, because he's such a huge car guy. He's got his own diecast line, so you never know, what can happen when you put your heart into starting something. I started a podcast. Chuck saw the podcast. Hey, we need to make this into something big here, and make a video podcast, and three of us, and chose David and I to help with the process, and we all bring our own special sauce to the show. So it's a lot of fun, it's a lot of work. We appreciate every time you can share it, like it, if you can subscribe, if you can be a member and donate to the channel. It comes out of all of our own pockets. We're not making money on this at all. It's just something we're passionate about. We want to bring you guys some cool content, interview people, get to know the people behind the tiny cars, and it's a big passion of ours. And it's tough for us to schedule things, especially when we're dealing with people from China and out of the country, the UK, Tony and Carmen over in the UK, diecast heroes. And it's just tough for all of us to kind of schedule being 2 to 3 hours apart, time frame wise. And but we make it work, and it's a labor of love, and we appreciate you guys for being members. I appreciate anyone on my channel too that's a member, that donates, that always likes and comments, and just the support. Eddie G, ADP, Dane Self. I mean, there's the list goes on. I mean, these are the people that uh, are just always involved in whatever I post, and it means a lot to me. It's heartwarming to even when I'm don't post for a few weeks or a month or something like that. These people are these awesome guys are they're following me on my detailing channels. I pop in there on lives. I post videos on auto peak detailing, and they're everywhere. They're supporting me everywhere. So I appreciate you guys. I love you. I hope everyone has a blessed day. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. I know it's been a minute, but whenever I have time, I'm always thinking about you guys, and really consider being a part somehow, spreading the word, donating, maybe just donating a few bucks to St. Jude and letting us know, let Paco know if you donate some money, so we can kind of tally up how much money was raised. I mean, it's a sweet event. So if you have any questions, like I said, about this event, you can email Paco, and Paco's email again. Let's see here. I don't know why it hides it here. Is Paco's Diecast Garage at gmail.com. And you can hit him up there. You can message him on Instagram at Paco's Diecast Garage and ask him any questions, any way you can help. Um, it's a huge undertaking to put this together, So anything helps, guys. So I love you guys. God bless you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next podcast.